17 symptoms of Polycythemia Vera. These are things that are more common for people to feel, or just kind of a cumulative feeling, I guess. So there's, multiple people who've been questioned, and these are some of the things that they come up with. But not everyone's the same. That's one thing I wanted to mention is it's a progressive disease, right? And we all have different ways that we actually feel things. Yes, we can all have some commonalities, but again, this is something that is not always the same for everyone. And I wanted to really quickly put that out there, simply because in some of the criteria when they're first looking at people with PV, I know when I first looked into it, it was supposed to be for an older man was supposed to get it. I didn't really fall into that category, right? Now I think they say men are more likely to have it, but definitely women get it. And they used to say, you had to be older, but I think they've actually kind of addressed that again and said, you can get it at any age, although it's more common in older people. So that's the thing, is I'm finding it is different for everyone, and yet, a lot of similarities. So I just compiled kind of like 17 items. I did a little like a infograph, and I put that infograph on Pinterest. So you could have access to it. I'll put a link in the video, like in the comments or description, the description part, and so you can look at that. I know that I've had actually quite a bit of this, and some other things that are just kind of random, and sometimes it's not just the symptoms of Polycythemia Vera or an MPN, but it's also part of the treatment. And we can kind of go over that as it comes. So I said tiredness, fatigue, insomnia, weakness. Now, that's huge. I don't know anyone who has an MPN who's not just exhausted. And you can push, and you do, and I do. I know. I even have a video on energy and what to do to keep pushing yourself. Because truly, it's like a battle. Like, your brain's like, oh, I want to do all these things. I've got this list. I'm going to be awesome. And your body's like, think again, buddy. So, it's a battle. It's definitely something that a lot of people are working with. Weakness, surprisingly, like, I'm generally a strong person. I mean, I'm not a really big person per se, but it's strong. It's weird. And yeah, I find myself becoming weak for some things, and it's frustrating. It's different, and that's one of the things. Okay, enlarged spleen. I do have that. Cool thing is it's actually getting smaller right now. It's still enlarged, but gotten smaller. Headaches, constant, and that was my big sign when I first found out that I had PV. Anyway, man, my head was just crazy painful. Itching, burning feeling after showers. That is huge. One reason why is it's not always just the showers. I mean, it can just be, I don't know, just one thing or another. I know yesterday I was like insane, just running around the house. I try and do mind over matter, like it doesn't hurt, and it does. It's like fire ants and craziness. It does hurt. It makes you feel insane, and yet it sometimes wears out, and that's okay. I do wonder, because it's been raining lately, if that has something to do with it, like the moisture in the air. I don't know. Bone pain. I don't know if this is relative or not. Who's got it or not, and I don't know if you have to be like completely down the line to get it, but I do get bone pain. I've had it for quite a while, actually. I don't like it if people touch my shins or anything, really. It just hurts, and I get irritated, I guess, when I get hurt. I get irritated with that. Another is my ribs hurt a lot. I actually just had a stomach scan, and when she was scanning the stomach, I'm like, that's killing. And she's like, I'm on your rib. I'm like, I know. And it was brutal. And I think actually the pain may have just been for my ribs and not the inside of the stomach. I don't know. Not a doctor again, but something huge. Bone pain. It's painful. Dizziness, vertigo, lightheadedness, constantly. I get that a lot. I go in my kitchen and I just kind of sit against the counter. I remember when I first was dealing with a lot of things. I'd be at work and I just sit on the counter and just kind of hold up and smile and act like I'm having a good day as I'm like, don't fall over. Chest pain, I get that a lot. My heart hurts. And at first, when it started really doing that heavily, I was like, God, I'm having a heart attack. Not today. You know, I got things to do. And yeah, now it's weirdly common. And the thing is, it kind of scares me because I sometimes write things off like, yep, that happens. It's normal. Boom, just deal with it and move on. And I think, crap, if I get a heart attack, I'm going to be upset because I've been writing it off for so long, and that's not a great thing. Red face or skin. I think I did a video when I got out of the shower yet. Red on my face. It starts to get really red, like crazy. A lot of people think people with PV look super healthy because they're like red and bright and awesome. And yeah, it's fantastic, but you're not feeling good, you know? So that is one thing. I actually started wearing makeup again at the beginning of the year. I've made it a goal because I a long time didn't. So I'm kind of trying to tone down the red. Problems concentrating. Pretty obvious, you know. Poster child there. Painful burning or numbness of the hands or feet. My feet get numb, and it's silly because it's not like a regular numb. It's like I can go to the grocery store and be walking around the entire time with numb, horribly numb, painful feet, like numb. And there's one time I pulled over, I was driving, I pulled over just to like try and get my feet to feel something, and it wasn't happening. It's scary sometimes. It's just the weirdest feeling, just weird. Happens a lot, and I don't feel things. Like, I'm not a good heat sensor, I guess. What was the joke? I was saying that I'm a heat-seeking missile with my hands. Like, sometimes I'll I'll touch my husband's arm or hand or leg. I'm just touching it, and I think it's like my hand is looking for heat. I don't even notice. So who knows how many strangers' hands I've been like holding. I don't know. I hope not. But heat-seeking missiles because they're just like numb. Another thing is people sweat at night. I've done that before. I currently don't have that one, which is nice. That one, you know, not for me right now, which is awesome, but sorry if it is you. Shortness of breath. I do get that every once in a while. Not so much right now, luckily. And that's one thing with these symptoms. They come and go. I mean, there are some times where I get like these massive headaches. They're just killing me. And I can't see for days. Brutal. And then, you know, it's good. So, I mean, it just comes and goes on some of these. What is it? Bleeding from gums, heavy bleeding from small cuts. Now, I've gotten these from different lists that they had online, trying to get a consensus and mishmash them all. And the thing is I have always had bleeding gums. I never thought it was anything. My dentist always told me I took great care of my teeth. There was no problem, but I just always had bleeding gums. I get bloody noses quite a bit, and I don't even, things like that never really like occurred to me. Like, I just figured, it's another one. So there are things like that you think are normal. They're actually not. There you go. So that's one thing. Feeling of fullness, that goes along with your spleen. I get that sometimes. I just don't always feel so hungry. I don't know. It's yes and no. I feel it, I guess, but I don't even care to eat, but I like food, so. Ringing in the ears, yes, it's horribly annoying. Horribly annoying. It's like, you know, that one's annoying. Weakness, again, just straight out weakness. Not even like exhaustion, but like I was trying to screw in some stuff the other day and I couldn't do it. Very frustrating. Blurred vision, blind spots, or bloodshot eyes. I'm totally there. I can't tell you how many times a day I see spots or lines or like, it's like a residual light. For the most part, I really can't see a lot of things without some sort of light along with it. I did think that was normal for a long time, but it was more intense a couple years ago. It was really, really bad. Now, there are times like I can't look at the computer screens too long. it's like I go blind and it hurts, and so I voice text and I don't correct it, which is not that great. Anyhow, or if someone takes a flash picture of me and they're like, look at the picture, I can't see. You just blinded me completely. It's going to take me like an hour or so before I can see again. So I just guess, like, sure, it's a great picture. Can't see. Those are some of the things. Those are the 17 on the list. That's like a good reference for a lot of people to look at. I know personally, sorry, I'm pulling up a little list here. I did have a list for when I went to see my doctor. A couple things that weren't on there. My headaches, they were shooting up the back of the head. Like I'd get like zoom, 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 you know. Different shooting pains. It's kind of like electricity. I don't know how to always explain that. Again, the blind spots I was talking about, chest pain, can't breathe. I mean, a lot of these things. This is my list when I first went to see her. Ears ringing, restless legs. That is brutal. And it's not really PV. It's more or less the iron deficiency, I think. And that is so brutal at night. I'm a terrible sleeper anyhow. But it's like your legs kick you awake. And one thing that I found is don't sleep with pants on. If you sleep with pants on, you're in for a horrible, horrible night. Like a loose pajamas or something like that. That makes a huge difference. But restless legs, I used to laugh at those commercials. I am so embarrassed to say this because, I don't know, I was younger anyway, but I would watch these commercials and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're making up anything these days, come on. And then I got it. And then I'm like, oh, restless legs. So, it's true, it hurts, it's not fun. Then what else do I have? Both sides of the stomach hurt. It usually should be your left because of the spleen, but I have it on both sides. I think a lot of people do. That's kind of a same thing. I'm stiff. I'm not old, not super duper old. I'm stiff a lot. Foggy brain. I get dizzy, nauseous. After I had like my little mini strokes, I have a hard time on planes, and I used to love flying. I mean, I've flown quite a bit actually. I think back and forth to China like 12 times or something. Like, I didn't really have a problem with it. I liked going places. I love to travel. Now it is brutal for me, and just very brutal. What else do I have? Weakness. My hands get cramped, and sometimes I can't do the little things anymore, which is kind of annoying. I think most things, I think one of the others was in the beginning I had double vision, and that is seriously scary. Very scary. Get checked on that. If you have that, I mean, really, it's scary. It's like you can, I don't know, you can't blink it away. It's a scary thing. Also, bruising. I get random bruises all the time. Like, literally, yesterday I go to my husband, hey, do you remember me lately hurting my knee or my leg at all? And he's like, no. I'm like, ugh, you know, I just randomly get bruises. And I don't know, maybe that's just life at this point. But they do hurt, and that's the not fun bit about it is, yeah, you can ignore some things, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt. So those are some of the symptoms. How I feel now. I always try and find solutions. I don't have all the solutions, but I try. And I try and be positive about it. And I have good days, bad days. Thank God I've got help. My mom's staying with us now, and she's going to be going home soon. And it's me and my 2-year-old. He's pretty awesome. I'm lucky. But I do have a sister here. I have another sister that sometimes I'll FaceTime her. I'll be like, please entertain my son while I like sit here for a minute, you know? Long distance babysitting, and in-laws are coming soon. I mean, wonderful help, support. So symptoms, they're not fabulous. And some days you are like down for the count. And it's not fun. I just pray that you have better days. So I hope by sharing this symptoms list and some things that I felt, that you can feel that someone else recognizes where you're at or has something in common, and you can know that we can look for solutions or find a way to deal with these symptoms together and make it a better day. So wishing everyone the best, and thank you for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel and like the video. I'm finally, hopefully, getting the YouTube thing down.